Hello and welcome to my channel, Inviting Possibilities. My name is Rochelle, and I'm here to do a reading for Virgo. Wherever you have Virgo in your chart, we all have it somewhere, so this could be for you. It's my intention, but please take what resonates and leave the rest. You know your story best. Jojo made it. Hello, welcome. And thank you all for liking, subscribing, and sharing. I am doing a general reading, just whatever comes out. I'm going to start with the wisdom of the oracle, and then I will clarify with some other cards. So let's dive in. What do we got for Virgo? Excuse me. We have imagine in protection. Using those amazing mental skills not to your advantage. Exchanging gifts in protection. You're overgiving, as you often do. Not getting back what you give. And why? Why is this happening? Why do you do what you do? I think that, you know, people with Virgo in their chart tend to be some of the most helpful people. They like to help others without needing, really much acknowledgement. But everyone's human and acknowledgement is important. Um and this is telling me that there is a need to um ap- appreciate yourself, to respect yourself and what you have to give. That just because people expect you to give of yourself because that's what you always do doesn't mean you have to. That there are certain situations where it's okay to say no. It's okay to say, let me think about it. You don't need to pretzel yourself. You don't need to bend over backwards just because that's what you were told you should do. Like starting at a young age. That's usually how it goes. Our parents, our teachers, our higher ups are like, yes, you need to be a good human, to be a good whatever. You need to be in service to others to a point. So so these two, the imagine and exchanging gifts and protection, these two kind of go hand in hand for me. I mean, it all does. It's you needing to question why you're you're finding yourself in situations that are inequitable. Is that the right word? That are unfair, where you feel like you're overgiving, where you feel like you're giving more and you're not receiving back what you give. Because and that leads to feelings, or kind of using your visualization skills not in your favor. Thinking about, well, this always happens. Um, I, I, I give what I can and people don't give back. There's almost like a poor me kind of mentality, the victim mentality. And so it's needing to, again, honor yourself. Like, you teach people how to treat you. And so we all do. And so this is about starting to stand firm in who you are and what you know you deserve. And the thing about this card, and this came up for another sign, I don't remember, but the thing that always strikes me is the cat has this little piece of confetti that it's giving. And on the surface, it's like, well, it's a piece of confetti. Like, what do you do with that? No big deal. That's a weird gift. But to the cat, this is the most important thing to it, because it brings it a lot of enjoyment. It's the kind of gift that it can give. And so It's recognizing that oftentimes people do give back. You just don't always recognize it because it's not a part of your love language, how you give. And so being open to all the different ways that people give. But ultimately, um you before you can even get to that point, you need to just recognize how much you give and how are you giving? Are you giving to get? Are you giving with expectation? Or are you just giving because it feels good to give? Because it's in protection, there's a very good chance that you give in hopes of getting something, and that is what needs to change with your thinking, so that you start to think about all that you're grateful for. You start to raise your vibration, lift your thoughts to another level where you're like, okay, I'm just going to give because it feels good, because I'm really grateful for all that people have given to me. It's just shifting your perception a little bit. So anyway, let's dive in. I'm going to go to the Light Seers deck. Um, what's going on here? What's this imagine in protection? What's going on for those Virgos out there that are struggling? Five of Pentacles, Four of Cups, and the Eight of Cups. um, you you feel left out in the cold. This is exactly why this is here, because you feel like you've given so much of yourself and people don't appreciate you. And it's left you feeling really just dissatisfied and focusing on the negative, focusing on the sadness, what brings you down, like this, again, this kind of victim mentality, which causes you to miss all the beauty that's there if you just turn around and look. With the Eight of Cups, this feels like it's almost like a giving up. But this may be exactly what you need to do. It starts off as like, okay, well, I've been left out in the cold, people don't show up for me, I'm feeling really dissatisfied, unhappy, so I'm just going to walk away. And it's like, at first it's probably like a very lonely walk. But then the further away you get from that, the better you start to feel, because you start to realize that you're walking towards your happiness. There's the sun on the horizon. You're putting yourself first. You're walking towards yourself and what's important to you. So this exchanging gifts in protection is clarified by the Empress. The Chariot, by the way, Taurus and Libra energy, Cancerian energy. And the sun is here. Oh my gosh, welcome. Hello. Thanks for being here. And the Four of Pentacles. Yeah. Yeah, this walking away, like I said, you're walking towards yourself. This is a glow up. This is so it's like, just the energy of these cards is very much about you focusing on what's important to you, who you are, what you stand for in the world, riding to victory, certain victory, but it's not an easy ride. One of my favorite readers, Gemstone Tarot, she says this is the card of riding two horses with one ass. It's like trying to keep everything going in the same direction when they, want to veer off in different directions. But because of being so grounded and centered in who you are, um focused on your ability to create what's important to you, and being very protective of yourself and what you have to give, that that's what's going to lift you up. That's what's going to lead you to a better outcome than what you've been experiencing. That's what turns this card upside down. Turn that frown upside down, right? Um, where you start out holding back, but then you're able to give, rather than just over giving all the time. You're being much more selective. You're discriminating a little bit more about what you want to give, and you're holding back a lot, but it's for your, um I'm trying to think of the right word, upliftment. Yeah, again, there's a glow up here. I love saying that. I love that term. Okay, so this Y card, Y in protection is clarified by the Eight of Swords, the Four of Swords, and Temperance, Sagittarian energy. I didn't say this, but um, the Empress gives because she likes to give. She doesn't overgive, though. She is able to receive, and maybe that's a part of the problem, is that you have a hard time receiving. You can't receive when you're holding on so tightly. But again, with the Chariot here, there's movement. There's movement forward. There's movement away from the sadness. And here we have you figuring out what is important to you. There's a lot of anxiety here, being up in your head. Um, but you're taking the time to retreat. You're taking the time to go within and heal, knowing that you have to change how you show up. Um, what you expect from others, what you expect from yourself. It's a process. It takes time. But this is about finding the balance. This is about getting that hot water and cold water just right. That perfect temperature. Why do you do what you do? You're, again, Virgos are such good helpers. They want to heal, they want to nurture. For an earth sign, they're very, very watery in a way. Maybe because Virgo is a mutable sign, and it's kind of like, wants to create that balance, find that balance. Again, ultimately help people. And it's about doing it because it feels good to give, and not for any other reason. If you start noticing the expectations coming up, that's when you got to kind of rein that desire to help back. Rein it in, because then ulterior motives are creeping in, and that's what you're fighting against. Also, you could be dealing with other people's expectations, where they're used to you giving all the time, and you're kind of taking back your power, stepping into this Empress energy. Generally, people love the Empress, but if they're used to you giving and now you're standing in your power and you're stepping back, you're holding back what you normally give, people are going to they're going to have a reaction. And you also have to deal with that, especially when it's people you care about. When you start saying no when normally you say yes, people can have a problem with that. And so, that could be why you're kind of up in your head because you're like, but I don't want to create conflicts. I don't want to deal with people like getting mad at me or whatever. Um, but this is about putting yourself first, 100%. Because if you don't, you're going to continue to end up in this place of feeling feeling like cast aside or left out, or only, people only contact you when they want something from you. That's not a good feeling. So I'm going to go to my guardian tarot. Oh, wow. I'm missing all this stuff. Yeah. All right. So, yeah, guardian tarot, my creepy tree friends. Um, what's the next actions for Virgo? Justice, Libran energy again. You could have some Libra in your chart. Lovers, Gemini energy. And 10 of Swords. You're getting okay, so you're going to be getting justice from a situation where it could be a romantic situation where you felt betrayed. There's an ending of a cycle ultimately. So even if it's not a romantic situation, it's um it's you finally again, because we have the 8 of cups here. You're walking away, you're closing out this this cycle in favor of something new because you are learning to put yourself first. You are learning um to see yourself as you truly are, which is someone who's very nurturing, who's very loving, but also has very healthy boundaries, who's willing to put in the work to create what you want in the world and to dive into that creativity, that desire, that passion, to do what feels right for you, because that is what you have to give to the world ultimately, not what people ask or expect of you. But there, if you did end up, well, yeah, we'll just leave it there. This is the end of this. This is you getting some kind of justice finally, once and for all, because of taking your power back. So, let me get I want to look at my Mystic Mondays deck. Do I? Yeah. Shuffling. Maybe because I'm doing it on my lap. Lap is not the best place for shuffling. Um, what's the potential outcome here? We've got the Ace of Pentacles. Yeah, there's a beginning. Yes, indeed. The Queen of Cups. And the Eight of Wands. I love this. I love this. Here you are. You've ended a cycle decisively. You've closed something out. You're saying no more. You're honoring yourself, and here's your new beginning. You're your higher power, the universe is like, "Well done, you. Here's an opportunity." And you have the ability to take that and run with it because you're nurturing yourself, what's important to you. You're getting into you're you're not forsaking that innate desire in you to help, to show up for others, but you're starting with yourself. It's it's like that saying, or like in an airplane where you put the mask on first and then you help others. You got to start with you. And there's huge momentum building here. And maybe you're communicating this to the world, to people who are important to you. This new beginning, whatever this is tangible, something that is rooted in reality that you're actually doing to create a new life for yourself or a new path. What's this 8 of Wands? Ace of Cups. Yeah. Yeah, this is moving into a space of love and connection and gratitude within yourself, focusing on what brings you joy and happiness. And there is somebody coming into your life because of what because now that you're putting yourself first, you're you're putting this energy out that's coming going to come back to you, because now people start to see your value because you're valuing yourself. And again, we have this swift movement. We've got the 8 of Wands, we've got the Chariot. The momentum builds. There's communication, someone bringing communication into you, you speaking your truth, whatever it is. There's healing and love and the start of something new that has substance, that's going to go somewhere that you all on your own will be able to move forward, to take somewhere. Okay, so let me finish off with a rune card. Let's get a final card. 2255. I just saw. All right. Rune card for Virgo. Oh, we've got Hagalaz. Yeah. This is the ability to weather that storm. To know that not only do you have the ability to deal with what's thrown at you. You've got, this guy, he's got his boots on and his raincoat, and there's a lot going on. But he's figured out how to get up out of the craziness just a little bit. At least he's on top of the car, is being resourceful as you are, and knowing that the storm will pass and that you can handle whatever comes your way. Hagalaz, where are you? Okay. Alrighty. Hagalaz means hail or stone and is closely associated with the unpredictability of nature, which can cause widespread disruption. Nature is a force we cannot tame despite our best efforts. This rune suggests that crisis is taking over in some area of your life, or at least threatening to take over. And there is little you can do about it but wait and see where the dust settles. Whatever disruption you are dealing with in your life is beyond your control, but what you can control is your reaction to it. If you can be patient, stay detached, and remain calm, You will weather the storm and may just find that the unwanted shakeup has given you an unexpected and liberating new perspective, insight, or direction. It may also remind you that sometimes things happen in our lives that we cannot explain, but these things are amazing opportunities for personal awakening and growth. That's exactly what's happening here. Personal awakening and growth. You're coming into your own because of something that was relatively outside of your control, and you're deciding to take your power back and walk away. And the whatever's happening, to I don't know, maybe I already said this, but to an extent, yes, it's out of your control, but how you react to it is in your control. And you're owning you're owning your awesomeness, your healing, you're loving, and you're attracting all of this back to you. There will be victory. So hang in there. I know it's rough, but it's happening for a reason. It's not happening to you, it's happening for you. All right, there's your reading. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, wherever you are in the world, and I will see you on the next video. Mwah. And thanks again so much for liking, subscribing, and sharing.